Welcome to Crazy Shit in Real Estate, a weekly podcast where I walk you through some of the wildest, most unbelievable stories you'll hear from the world of real estate. If you like real estate and you love crazy, this is the podcast for you. Before we get any further into this episode, I've got some information to share.
Oh, it's true. Real estate is super competitive and harder than you expected. That's why I created Leigh Brown University. It's everything you need to take you from point A to point whatever your goal is. You could be new to the business or a seasoned vet. I'll help you break through to the next level so that your professional life can look exactly like you desire. Enroll in Leigh Brown University today. I'll help you get there.
Jaw-dropping story. Okay, and we didn't get to touch that, and that was about.
Well, go ahead and throw it in because I thought your story was how you bought all these houses with no money. But go ahead and tell us the story then.
The jaw-dropping story.
Yes.
Okay, got a house over on my paper route. Okay, people lived there 38 years, owner occupant. The lady had a neighborhood beauty shop in the basement. I'm driving down the street in my police truck, and I see a Coldwell Banker sign on it. It looks brand new. I ignore it. Boom. Okay, come back around maybe another 2 months or so. Coldwell Banker sign's still there. Now it's leaning over a little bit, got grass slung up on the sign from cutting the grass and stuff. It's listed with an agent. So back then we had bag phones. You remember those?
$10 a minute. Had that in my car for emergency.
So I used my bag phone. I called up the agent. I said, is this house still for sale? And her name was Sam Harden. She says, well, you're not going to believe this. We had a contract on it, but it what? It fell through.
Oh.
Yeah, this was in the early 90s, okay? Same thing happens today, guys. And so I said, is it vacant? She said, yes. I said, can I have the key code? I'm sitting in front of it right now. So she gives me the key code. I walk through the house. Remember, 38-year owner-occupant, very well maintained.
Oh, yeah.
But a butt-ugly house. And the floor plan was horrible, okay? So how many times have you walked through a house or a property and said, money pit, I don't want that, no deal here. And you just walk away. So here's what I did. I went ahead and made an offer. What kind of offer? A ridiculous offer. $20,000. Wrote it up on my simple one-page offer thing, hand delivered it, drove it over to her office and gave it to her. She sends it to the owners. They moved to Horse Cave, Kentucky, down by Mammoth Cave Park. And she called me up the next day and cussed me out. She really did. Talk like a sailor and all this and that. And like I was evil. And, she goes, if I'd have known that, Mike, I'd have bought it. So I offered them $20,000. They accepted it. So we did the closing. Okay. So I bought this.
She cussed you out all because they said yes to your lowball offer.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic. She said, okay. So anyway, so we go to the closing, do all that. And so then I'm guessing anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks later, I get a phone call from, let's call them Henry and Ethel. They were the ones that owned it. And Ethel said, I called my agent. Bobo, shut up. That's my wife's dog. So Ethel says, this Mr. Butler? And I said, well, it depends. She says, well, I called my agent, Sam Harden. And she said it was okay if I give you a call. She says, I got a check here from my insurance company for the hail damage back in the spring. Where do you want me to mail that to? What do you want me to do with it?
She's so honorable.
I know. And I said, well, how much is the check for there, Ethel? And she goes, $8,400 and some change. So I said, holy cow, Buckwheat. I said, have you had lunch yet, Ethel? And she said, no. And I said, tell you what, I'll load my daughter up in my Ranger pickup truck. I'll get some Colonel Sanders. We'll come down and have some lunch with you. I want to hear your stories about your house that you lived in for 38 years because I grew up one block over from that. And so I went down there. She signed the check over to me. So now my purchase price went from $20,000 down to ballparking it at $12,000. And I still got that butt ugly house today, and it rents for almost $1,000 a month, and I still own it today. Now, lesson learned here is what I'm getting to. Okay, so how many times you walked through a property and you said no deal, money pit? Here's what I want you to do. Write this down. It's called the Mike Butler Investor Pledge. I promise to myself and my family from this moment forward to make an offer, even if ridiculous, on every property that I take time out of my precious day to go view. So if somebody calls you up and said, hey, I hear you buy houses, come out here and make me an offer. Okay, well, if you're going to go out there and look at it,
make them an offer.
You got to make an offer. What kind of an offer? Even if ridiculous. Okay. I've had my ridiculous offers has probably made me over $1 million.
Because you might buy Ethel's house and provide a solution to her needs, which was to get it sold. And then you got to hear her stories too. That's kind of a nice little perk. Oh, you're enjoying this little clip? Well, the rest of the story is available on any of your podcast apps. Just go search for and subscribe to Crazy Shit in Real Estate with Leigh Brown.